Welcome, friends, to My Media Museum. This is our second episode of Box 11 of our mixed 45 RPM vinyl records. And I welcome you back to the channel once more. We had our anniversary episode 2 days ago. And so this is the second video posted after our 1-year anniversary. And I'd still like to take a moment to once again thank all 475 of you out there that took the time to subscribe to the channel and encourage me to continue on. And always appreciate the thumbs up. Every one of you that gives me a thumbs up, I am grateful. Thank you. It keeps me going, encourages me to keep doing this. And so starting off episode 2 here, we've got The Doors with Love Me Two Times, I'm Going Away. Clearly marked as the A side. Sometimes these can be difficult too when you've got great songs that you know both real well on both sides. This is one of those cases where I do know the song Midnight Drive as well. But I don't think anyone would confuse which one was the A or B here. That's clearly marked as the B, though, so we know this. But Love Me Two Times, that definitely was a big hit for the Doors. And the sleeve doesn't match, but, just to repeat ourselves very quickly here, I've given this information out many times over the last year. But the sleeves do not match the vinyls so often because these are coming out of people's jukeboxes. They've loaded up the jukebox, put all the paper sleeves in a box in the bottom cabinet, and when they take the disc out, they didn't often take the time to find the proper sleeve to put it back in. So that is the predominant reason why you find so many sleeves that don't match the vinyls, is because of people stocking their jukeboxes and then taking the disc back out. But here we've got the Doors doing Touch Me Baby with a B-side of Wild Child. And here again, the Doors, I guess there's probably not a whole lot of Doors songs I'm not familiar with, but I do know both songs. Clearly marked as the B. If I had to have guessed, I would have thought Wild Child was the B and Touch Me was the A, and that is indeed the case here. But you'll notice that's an older label than the other Doors that we looked at. These are from around the same time frame. I'm betting this one's a reissue and this one might be an original. But there's so many printings, so many editions. We've discussed this many times as well. A lot of the times, even if you bought something when it came out, you didn't necessarily get the first printing. They printed 500 copies, they sold out. They went in and printed 5,000 copies, those sold out. They went. If a song gets really popular and really takes off, you can have numerous printings just in the original time frame that the song was popular and being played on the radio. You also get different labels from different printing plants and from different areas of the country. So it's really hard to tell if you actually have an original 45 sometimes without doing a ton of research. And the internet's an awesome tool. There's a lot of information out there available to us that you didn't have, back in the day, to find this stuff out. But these days, yeah, you can look a lot of this up and you can find this stuff out if you take the time to do it. But when you're just casually going through boxes, it can be difficult to tell. Here we've got an Iron Butterfly doing Easy Rider, Let the Wind Pay the Way. Now, I don't think that song was in the movie Easy Rider, and they've got the spelling different than the spelling that Jimi Hendrix used on his song Easy Rider, but you're certain that it was from around the same period, around the same time period. They were aware of the movie, I'm sure. And the B-side being Soldier in Our Town. And boy, this is just a beautiful copy, actually. I mean, just look at that. It looks like it was made yesterday. What a beautiful looking piece of vinyl there from Iron Butterfly, which their big claim to fame, you should remember, is in the Gata Davida. Dun, 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 which was actually in the Garden of Eden, but that story's already been told, and we'll move on for now. The Alan Parsons Project, games people play in the middle of the night. Now, you may or may not be familiar with the Alan Parsons Project. They had a string of really great hits back in the, especially in the early 80s, maybe late 70s, early 80s. And I love the Alan Parsons Project, but it was a project. It was a couple of guys, and the rest of the band was just a continuing revolving door of studio musicians that they utilized. But anyways, not getting into too much detail, the B-side of this one's a song called The Ace of Swords. And I did really, really like the I, Robot album in particular. That was the one of theirs that I just truly, truly loved. Here's another interesting label. And again, it doesn't match. We've got an electric sleeve for an Arista label, but it's another Alan Parsons in Time, flowing like a river, on and on. So nothing like the Pink Floyd song Time off the Dark Side of the Moon, which I don't think anybody will be confusing those two songs for each other. B-side being a song called The Gold Bug, which if I do remember correctly is an instrumental, which is interesting as well. Alan Parsons did successfully have both vocal tracks and instrumental tracks, and you can find a best of CD of just instrumental tracks from them as well. That's a great listen too if you have an interest in the band, if you're not already a fan, or if you are. Get the greatest hits and gets that instrumental greatest hits. Now this one's really cool. You've got a custom made sleeve. I loved it when they did that. We've got the Police's do 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 da da da. That's all I want to say to you. So it's not technically a picture sleeve, but they put some money and a little bit of artwork into it. Now both sides are identical. But that's really cool. It's nice to have a custom sleeve like that. And then it's an interesting label to boot. Nice, colorful, big blue diamond there. And if you'll notice, their faces kind of in, negative image, like on a camera negative. But it's clearly marked as the A side as well. But you would think from the custom sleeve, that's kind of a dead giveaway, which was the A side and which was the B. And that was a song called Friends. Now, I like the Police. I like Sting. I definitely like Sting better with the Police. But Friends isn't one of their songs that I'm particularly familiar with. I do have I think there's 5 Police albums that were put out. But again, I haven't listened to any of them in quite a few years either, other than what I might have heard at a store in the background. Now here we've got another one of those wonderful little Woolworths, I think it was, $1.19 price tag. 1981, probably. That number may not have anything to do with the date, but it probably is from 81, especially since the vinyl in it, I do believe, is original to the sleeve. And it's, you can read it. It's got that silver on black. Daryl Hall and John Oates, because your kiss is on my list. Then we got old Nipper up there. If you ever see the little puppy dog with him, that was Chipper. But it's always fun to see Nipper. And Nipper was a real dog, by the way. He actually existed. Anyways, the B-side of this is a song called Africa. Now, I don't believe that's the same song that Toto did. Toto made the song Africa huge. Not particularly a fan of it myself. I do like a few songs that Toto did. But this song here on the back, written by John Oates, so that's a big dead giveaway right there that it is indeed a different song and not the same one. So we're not going to be singing that one for you because I don't know how it goes. Now we're going to have a few Electric Light Orchestras in a row here for you. 2 of them are the same with different B-sides. So starting out the gate here, the first one, Last Train to London, off of the Discovery LP, 1979. And I am actually a pretty big ELO fan. Jeff Lynne is an awesome songwriter in my opinion. And I have loved at least the bulk of every album that ELO ever put out. Not necessarily every song, but the vast bulk of it. Done a lot of great work. And, he was a Beatles fan, and a lot of the later work, later stuff, especially some of his solo material, and what he did with the Traveling Wilburys, for certain, sounded very Beatlish. And you can tell that he was a fan of the band. The B-side here is a song called Down Hometown off of the Face the Music album, 1975. So here we've got one of those examples, like A&M Records, Jet Records was another one of them that liked to promote a previous album on the B-side. So you get a brand new song on the A-side and something from a previous album by the same band on the B. That's clearly the case here on this one. And next up, we've got another Electric Light Orchestra and Don't Bring Me Down, Bruce, from the Discovery album again, 1979. So this was from the same album as Last Train to London. And you probably know this song better than Last Train to London. The B-side on this particular copy is Dreaming of 4000, which was off of the third album, On the Third Day, from 1973. But next up, you're going to see that we've got a Golden Oldies series of Don't Bring Me Down. And they're giving us a specific date there of July of 1979 for when that single was originally put out with this original B-side of Dreaming of 4000. But on the Golden Oldies, they replaced that B-side with a song called Shine a Little Love. Now, they're not giving us any credits here of what album that one was from, but they're saying May of 79, so I would venture to guess that Shine a Little Love was also off of that Discovery album in 1979. Like I said, I'm a fan. I love the band. That one was in an MCA sleeve, by the way, so another one where the vinyl doesn't match the paper. But that's another example of promotion of different. Getting all stutter. You know what? Let's wrap this one up. We're at 12-minute mark, anyways. I need a drink of water. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you have an awesome day, and we'll see you again another time.